Hello, guys. Today. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is my channel. Hello, and welcome to my channel. This video, as you can see, is not my normal setup, but you probably recognize Andrew's Wizardly Read setup here. So I am out at his location today, and we have a very fun video, which I think we're both looking forward to, where we're doing the one-star review thing. So we've both looked up for 9, don't ask why, it's arbitrary, but 9 one-star reviews for books we know the other one loves, and we're going to read them and see if the other one can guess for points, and the loser gets, I don't know, punched in the face or something.
Let's not punch each other in the face.
Maybe not that.
I'll buy you a book. Like
that does seem like an easier solution. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, with no further ado,
straight to violence.
Let's. I don't know why I went there. It just happened. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Are you
do you
going
want to
first?
start, or do you want me to?
I'll go first.
Okay.
All right, don't peek because
right,
I've got them on my laptop.
I have them on my phone here.
All right. So this one-star review, let me stay in frame, it starts with, I hated it! 1.5 stars. Oh, I've already broken it because it got an extra half star. Oh well. Terrible characters, info dumping, purple prose, gratuitous sexual violence, and a frequently off-putting word choice. I couldn't connect to any of the characters, and I at no moment felt concern or anxiety for anyone's well-being. I would have loved this series to die, or excuse me, this character to die, but he's the crux of the series, and no other character had an iota of personality, so I don't care about them. I couldn't make myself care about the quest. The author is a pale and pathetic shade of Tolkien, and I never consider one of his books again. I'm getting rid of my copy.
Huh. So, the purple prose part is throwing me off a little bit. Because with just like...
I thought this was going to be instant, because you don't read a lot of purple prose.
I don't. I'm trying to think, what did I read that was purple prose?
I'll give you a hint. It's been a while since you've read this. And you do talk about this series frequently when you're doing recommendations.
Okay, so my immediate thought was the Demon Cycle or the Warded Man, but that's not purple prose. And like...
this is one you've been meaning to continue for a while.
Oh my god. Okay, no, I'm an idiot because it's Thomas Covenant, Lord Fowl's Bane.
There you go!
Oh my gosh. I feel really dumb. That I feel so blatantly
I had to give that one to you.
You did. And like it all makes sense now. Like, so okay, my favorite thing is like all of those complaints are like pretty valid. But it gets so much better. Like the first book, I was like, what did I just read? Like, how did this happen? And then it was really good after that. Yeah, no. Okay, I'm going to hope I get better because that was really awful. But we'll start off. Yours started off easy because I'm nicer to you, I guess. No, that was easy. I'm just dumb. But okay, so here we are. This one-star review. The first series that showed it was possible to do an uninspired rewrite of Tolkien and make a mint.
Oh, that's Eye of the World.
I didn't even finish reading it!
That's Eye of the World. Robert Jordan.
Yeah, it's the Eye of the World.
No, as soon as you said uninspired Tolkien and Shannara, that's Eye of the World.
There were a lot of people who don't understand that that's the first book in Intentional, so there were a lot of those reviews. But
I might have.
You're just showing me up. We might be going back to violence. So.
Whoa! I have a family.
They're in the other room. I know.
Yeah, right? This one-star review. This is definitely one of the worst books I've read this year. The premise seemed appealing, with an interesting magic system, an epic kind of old-school fantasy storyline, and a lot of action. And if someone had told me the entire plot without having read it first, I would have probably loved it. But the execution just didn't work. For once, this author's writing was not my cup of tea at all. The whole book gave me the impression that it was written by a 13-year-old, maybe later, or more later.
I'm pretty sure I know this one.
I don't like one of the 4 main characters Most I utterly despised. The worst, the main character, annoying, whiny, rude, childish, useless, always pointing about how fat he is.
Yeah, okay. So I was pretty positive it was going to be Lightbringer and Black Prism. Especially when you said seems like it was written by a 13-year-old boy. Because,
and you want me to read this? I've read the Black Prism. It's just been like 5 years. Yeah. I liked it. Never continued.
Was that Daniel Green's review? Because all I remember is he kept calling himself fat, which like completely fits with the plot.
I mean, if Daniel Green gave it a 1-star review,
I don't think he gave it a 1-star. No. But no, yeah, it definitely is. There's a lot of immaturity in it. It's a really fun series. As soon as you said a cool magic system, but execution, I'm like, that's like everyone's complaint.
I'm trying to focus on the stuff that identifies the series for you.
Like I said, I was pretty sure, but after how badly I did Thomas Covenant, I'm like waiting for it to become where it's even more obvious. So
I dropped my power cord.
How dare you? No, I'm kidding. But no, it's like, once again, it's funny, I think, with some of the 1-star reviews where I'm like, I can see where they're coming from. Like, I disagree, but I can see where
valid critique.
Okay. My next one, I feel like, is fun. I'm going to note, this is the only negative review on this book that wasn't riddled with typos.
The only one.
The only one. So we have, I think you'll get this one really easily, too, but this book is full of plot holes and missing and relatable character development. The main characters pretty much just become best friends despite no real reason for emotional connection. The constant, everyone loves the main character, but he can never understand why thing gets really, really old.
Is this Name of the Wind? No, I don't like Name of the Wind.
I haven't read that either.
Is this Theft of Swords? No. Keep going.
That's all I saved, but I didn't save the whole review. So the really big clue is everyone loves the main character, but he can never understand why.
Everybody loves the main character. Best friends.
I thought it would be easier. See, he took full reviews. I clipped reviews.
Do I like this one?
You love this book.
I love this book.
You love this book.
I love this book.
Read it last year.
Is this Malice?
No.
No?
I'm trying to think. It definitely has some plot holes. You found the character very relatable, though, despite this person not.
Oh, wait! This is Dragon Mage!
Yeah, it's Dragon Mage. This was one of, 3 negative reviews on Dragon Mage, and the other ones, I couldn't read because there were so many typos, but...
There wasn't that many typos. There was plot holes.
in the reviews.
Oh, in the reviews.
Not in the book. I also really enjoyed Dragon Mage.
I gave it 5 stars, so...
The reviews were like, it's angry... And they were in English, I'm pretty sure. It's just a lot of typos.
I was just like that. Well, for I never thought. So what tripped me up was the best friends, because I disagree. I think that yes, it starts out more as a pity friendship, but I mean they grow to respect each other. It's a growth friendship. It's very much one-sided on the main character's part initially, but I mean he's on the spectrum. That's how he would act. And he would just be like, let's be friends! And then, yeah. So, no, they're wrong.
Honestly, I completely disagree with that one. But I was trying to find, there were very few negative reviews, which should tell you Dragon Mage is an excellent book.
It is. It's really good. It's not flawless, but it was such a good book.
100%.
So it's my go.
All
right. So this 1-star review. Not great writing. Poor characterization. Poor pacing. And gratuitous sexual violence.
Again?
If you're going to have only one notable female in your novel get sexually assaulted...
Is this one the painted man or the worded man?
Yes.
You're making me sound bad when 2 out of the 3 you've done are gratuitous sexual violence, okay?
But, I know you liked the book.
They were good despite those things, okay? I'm just gonna say that. It is gratuitous. There is a lot of it, but besides that, they were really, really good. So I even just I'm like, it's weird that's a recommendation I made because somebody even just told me, they're like, hey, just so you know, I DNF'd hard The Worded Man, but after you recommended it, I tried it again, and you were right. Despite all of that junk, it's really good. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Despite all that, not because of, despite of.
I'm gonna make you look real bad on your channel.
Yeah, I see now why you agreed that this one would go on my channel. All right.
I'm actually cleaning it up because the actual wording of the review was much worse.
There were some really, really bad reviews on Goodreads for a couple of things I did, and I'm like, what? But so this one, I just love the way it's worded. So far, it's just a bunch of different people tromping around in the woods, hundreds of miles from each other, having isolated battles with giants or humans foe.
Yeah, that's Faithful and the Fallen. That's Malice.
Yeah. That's what he said. Malice. I wanted to, but not yet. It's coming.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, they're not wrong. They're literally different.
Tromping around in the woods, hundreds of miles away from each other.
Yeah, that's valid. I like it. I don't care. But
I knew there would be negative reviews from Alice, so like I'm looking very specifically at looks for that one. I figured that was one of the easier ones to find for sure.
All right, this one I like this one just because of the way it starts out. It goes, nope. I hated the main character from the very start. He is a 14-year-old boy leading a gang of ex-convicts.
14-year-old boy leading a gang of ex-convicts.
That's really all you should need. I can keep going if you want.
Why am I drawing a blank?
He is the anti-hero, with the book opening detailing his sexual assault of a farmer's daughter.
Oh my god. Okay.
I tried to stop sooner.
It was the description. I'm like, ex-con, like, they're mercenaries. They're not, well, I mean, okay,
they're not mercenaries.
They probably are all ex-cons.
Yeah, they are
very
ex-cons.
obviously Prince of Thorns. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that makes sense.
I tried to stop before we got to the...
You did. You tried to not make me seem as dumb as I am, apparently, but... Oh, Prince of Thorns.
I said 14-year-old boy, gang of ex-convicts. I thought that was enough.
that was plenty. For some reason, the wording just wasn't hitting me, but yeah, that probably was all too easy to find negative reviews for it too.
Oh yeah,
it's a really good trilogy. It's not like about that. It's you are picking all of the sexual violence books I've ever read.
When I was on Goodreads, it gave me a line. I was like, oh, Nico likes that. It was all in the dark fantasy section.
I see.
So like, I was just like, Nico likes that one. That one. This is very last minute.
I gotcha.
He came prepared. I didn't.
That's why we're doing 9. It's like, came prepared with 9. It was supposed to be 10, but he's like, I'll just do 9 too. So, okay, so this one is a little more vague, but I think it works because it gives a big hint. But nothing about it managed to keep my interest. It may just be because the story is one big flashback, which lets the reader know the main character already made it through all these difficulties without any lasting harm done to him. Even the moments that should stir emotion just never stirred anything in me.
But that's my complaint for King of Thorns.
That's not all a flashback. There's just flashbacks in it. But you didn't like that trilogy as much as I did, so I didn't pick it.
Well, I loved King of Thorns. I just didn't like Prince as much. Well, I gave Prince 4 stars. I only know that because I was looking at it today. Flashback.
So the whole book is a flashback.
The whole book is a flashback?
The whole book is a flashback.
Oh gosh, I'm pulling a blank.
I was going to say, this review got really specific right after this, which is why I cut it. It's also something you read last year.
That doesn't help.
I know, you read like 140,000.
The whole book is a flashback, and I read it last year.
It is the first in a trilogy.
That's helpful.
You didn't like the other books as much. I feel like that gives it away. Nobody likes the other 2 books as much.
Is it No, I hated The Witcher.
You'll have to let me know in the comments if it's my fault for giving a bad clue, or if this is finally one where I just found one that's harder than it seems.
The whole book is... I'm gonna feel real stupid, aren't I?
I mean, it's on your shelf somewhere right now. I guarantee it.
Is it?
Where.
You're guaranteeing it's on these shelves.
I guarantee it.
Is it Bloodsong?
It's Bloodsong.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute.
Right after this, then it starts talking about like the events at the end of the book. So I'm like, oh no, cut there.
The whole book, I guess, but like there were still some really tense moments in Bloodsong, so I disagree.
Yeah, like at the very end, like that something's going to happen, but you don't really know what's going to happen all throughout, and there were lots of other characters who were definitely susceptible to death too.
To be fair, there are sections of the book that are not flashbacks. So
there are some, yeah. This was a little bit of an
exaggeration. Mike, drop. No, there's like 30 pages.
My favorite one is next.
And your favorite one? I don't know if you're gonna get this one.
It's so dumb.
I may have to prompt you to read. Well,
okay.
We'll see.
We're going to focus.
Okay, this 1-star review. There seems to be quite a complex world of politics and magic within these pages. But after 300 pages, I just couldn't care less about anyone or anything in this world.
Is it King's Dragon?
It is not.
Okay, I was just checking.
I wound up drifting off to another book days ago and still haven't felt like coming back to this one. The prose is pretty dense, and the world is quite strange and full of mysteries. Maybe too many.
Is it Dragon Bone Champ?
No.
What? God.
It's been a while since you've read this one, by the way.
Okay.
Only a few pages are devoted to any of a dozen different situations that are developing, each with a few to a dozen characters. I feel like this is really narrowing it in.
So, well, because I picked 2 books that are kind of slow burn, really dense.
Here, this will help. Many seem too powerful to have wound up in the situation they're in, too. There are super powerful magics wielded by thousands of year-old gods and mages in blunt, rather stupid ways.
Wait.
Yes,
Wait, is this Malazan?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay. It has been a while since I read that. As soon as she said used by gods, and I'm like, oh. No, I mean, like, that means that review means they read half a book, because that's my review for every first half of Malazan book. Then I read the second half, and I'm like, oh, it's so good, I can't put it down. Yeah. Oh, it does make sense. I wasn't even thinking of Malazan at all, so that was a good one to pick.
Yeah, I know you like Malazan.
Yeah. It was a fantastic series, but it was difficult to go through, and it's another one where most of people's complaints, I'm like, yeah, no, I agree with a lot of your complaints. I would have such a bad time the first half of all of those books, but okay. So I'm gonna have to try and find ways to give you clues for this one, because this makes absolutely no sense. But as second I read this review, I knew I had to pick it. Oh, gosh. The review, for the 1-star review, is. Reading it felt gross, like drinking a warm can of sugary pop on a hot day in the desert. That was the entire review. It is on this wall. It's the first clue.
Is it unsold?
No. I don't.
A can of sugary pop.
It was gross, like drinking a warm can of sugary pop on a hot summer's day. That doesn't actually describe the book at all. It's not dark either, for the record.
What? Is it Discworld?
It is Discworld.
Is it Guards?
No. Right series. Wrong book, though.
A sugary pop. I could be anyone. I love so many Discworlds.
Apparently it was really gross to read, but it's probably your favorite Discworld.
Is it Nightwatch?
Yeah, that was Nightwatch.
Sugary pop. That doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense, but apparently reading Nightwatch, which is like... Usually looked at... Now, I will say, when I was looking up reviews for Nightwatch, a ton of people were like, I heard this was the best one, so I started with it, and it didn't make sense. And I'm like...
Well, hey, that's wrong.
It's like book 34 in the series, so yeah, you probably shouldn't start with it.
I'm just offended.
Yeah, no, I have no explanation. It didn't make any sense at all. I'm just like... What does that mean? Like, were you meaning to be reviewing, like, a drink?
I feel like I'm going to play back this video and just see my soul crushed.
I'm sorry to do that to you. It's really, I don't understand why, but it was such a nonsensical review, I had to include it.
It's okay.
It's going to be okay, Nightwatch.
Is that weird enough for you?
Oh my god.
Okay. So, it's my turn, I guess. This 1-star review, and you should get this one pretty quickly. I gave up in the scene where he's on the boat with the people, and he's doing the long con.
The boat with the people doing the long con, so that's gotta be the Liza Locklamore right off the bat. Okay. That was specific enough. I heard boat, and I actually was thinking of the second one first, but I either one.
To be fair, I didn't make it much further past that. I didn't DNF it. I just got distracted.
That is a book where I read it, and I
got it right here.
I enjoyed it right off the bat. I really liked it. I said for a long time, I've read so many now, at the time I hadn't, but I said for a long time that was one of my favorite debut novels. I thought it was excellent. And then other people are just saying it didn't click, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've read it. I really, really enjoyed it when I read it, and I still remember it very fondly. It still has like one of my favorite villains in it, too, so... it seems to be hit or miss. That one I really don't know.
I'll read it eventually. I've got all 3 books, so
someday there'll be more.
Literally, I keep it facing outward as it shames me. So I'm trying to shame I'm trying to shame myself into reading it.
It's whatever you have.
Oh, it's my go. Okay.
Oh yeah, you just went. Anyway. All right. Well, first off, this book had 0 instances of otters.
What?
I'm sorry. I read this 3 times. This is correct. This is a real review that is on Goodreads for this book, a 1-star review.
Okay.
Well, first off, this book had 0 instances of otters. Second, it was super duper long. There are so many storylines, you can't keep up. I also hate the idea that super rich people can work together and not backstab each other. Oh, and at the end, 0 resolution. Skip it.
0 otters. That's throwing me. I'm not gonna lie.
So,
is this Otherland?
Yes.
The only thing I'm going off of. Otterland.
I'm wondering if they really thought it was called Otterland. Like, that's what I'm wondering.
Well, super rich people, there's a cabal of evil. They don't work together really well. They are backstabbing each other. You read the book wrong.
But I mean, like, was there really somebody who thought it was like going to be a book about otters?
Otterland.
So one of the other reviews for Otherland was just F. Tad Williams, F. Tad Williams, F. Tad Williams.
Why?
I hate him. His book is trash. Like, he's got like his critics.
To be fair, that's like his least loved. Bobby Dollar's garbage. The second Bobby Dollar's garbage. The first one's actually pretty good. But like Otherland is like it's got like a 3.8 review on Goodreads, but it's got like 35,000 like ratings or reviews or something like that. So I mean, people are reading it; they just don't like how complex it is. To be fair, I'm finishing up River of Blue Fire here soon, and it's not as good as Otherland, but like it's just due to the stories progress, so they had to change the structure. So it's just anyway. Sorry. Anyway. Otterland.
Otterland, yes.
Threw me.
I know, I had to pick that one, though. I absolutely did.
Okay. This one is... you'll either get it or you won't. Just Murdered the Puppy! Screw this book! I'm out!
Just Murdered the Puppy? Oh, what other book has it? Because Broken Empire has a dead dog, but we already did that.
We already did that one.
Just Murdered the Puppy.
This would have been very early in the book.
Oh! I don't want to say which specific book, but Realm of the Elderlings, because I don't... Oh, my God. Okay, like, I can't even... Like, I understand, but, like, if you can't get past that, don't read the series, because she will break you. Like, Robin Hobb will destroy you. And so if that already is where, like, your like, emotions and heart can take, you're better off...
Hit the eject button. Just pull the cord.
Oh, my gosh.
Get out of there.
It took me a second, but immediately I'm like, oh, that's right. I still remember. I'm like, did that really just happen? Oh my gosh. So yeah, I was being pretty vague with it. That was a good one. All right, so my next one is, I think I'm done with this author. She makes great characters, and then to further the plot, makes them act in ways that are completely unbelievable. It's maddening. I picked that review very specifically. Because despite you disagreeing with the 1-star rating, I think you'd somewhat agree with the negative review, actually.
Can you read it again?
Yeah. I think I'm done with this author. She makes great characters, and then to further the plot, makes them act in ways that are completely unbelievable.
Did we both just do a Realm of the Elderlings?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was so mad! I tried not to say anything! And I'm like, really? You have it? And then I have it too. Different books, different sub-series.
Yeah, okay.
I read that and all I just flashed back to, like, this is excellent, but I feel like she's forcing the characters to act this way, and I'm like...
so apparently I'm not the only one.
You apparently
It's
are.
not worth a 1-star review, though.
It really, really isn't, but...
It's a valid complaint that I think that... It's a valid critique, not a complaint, about, like, sometimes I just feel like I feel her take a firm hand, and... apply a little bit of pressure. That doesn't make them bad books.
Oh yeah, they're still excellent, but
Yeah.
just the fact that we did it that way.
At the exact same time. That's funny. All right. I don't know if you're going to get this one, but I love the review.
Okay.
It was when the thief and the mage pulled out a whiteboard and started drawing a flowchart of how to conquer the fantasy kingdom that I realized, wait, am I just reading a sad bastards D&D campaign?
Is that Mistborn? Oh my god! At first I was like, what? But then I'm picturing them getting out the whiteboard. I'm like, oh my god, it's Mistborn! Okay, that might be the greatest Mistborn review I've ever heard in my entire life.
I loved it. I loved it so much.
I love Mistborn. That was fantastic.
I was looking you in the eye when I found that. You would come in the house, and I was just like, oh yeah.
At least I'm getting better, but
it was so good.
It definitely did paint a picture in my image, and I could absolutely picture that happening. Oh man.
I mean, that basically happens in the book, though. It's not a lie.
It's a fantasy heist novel. I mean, like, I gotta. Okay, compose.
Got to give them the props.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die of laughing. we're reaching the end, I think, here. But so,
yeah, I think we've got one more each.
This one's fun because it could be several things, but. This book was chock full of foul language and human depravity with a very unsatisfying ending. And those are not the things and reasons for which I pick up a book.
I want to say it's The Grey Bastards.
No.
It's not.
No.
Because that's full of bad language and depravity.
I haven't read that one yet, so that would have been a good one, though, because I know you really liked that. But
okay, foul language and depravity.
And a very unsatisfying ending.
Very unsatisfying. Would it be First Law? Is it a First Law book?
It is a First Law book, which that narrows it down, though.
Is it Master of Cold?
Well, it was the only one that you really loved, I picked, so...
Not a lot of depravity in Red Country.
That was Red Country. See, I thought it was funny because I'm like, I feel like that describes all of Joe Abercrombie's books. Besides maybe Red Country.
See, I disagree. I thought it was super satisfying. No, don't get me wrong. It's... I can see not liking the ending. I loved Red Country so much.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like he described Red Country as like it does a lot of the same things, but actually has like a really good ending. And so I'm like, and that's the one that you leave this review for?
I didn't mind the ending. I really didn't.
I still gotta read it. I wasn't a huge fan of the earlier books. That's why I just thought it was funny. But I feel like if Joe Abercrombie heard this review, he'd be like, yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. Like, that's what it makes me laugh. He's like, foul language, human depravity, like endings that don't give you any sort of satisfaction. Like,
I mean, that could have completely.
That's like his plan.
That could have fit this book perfectly, almost.
Well, now I'm curious because I have the first two. I still need to read those, but
Leslie does say like if you like the First Law, read the Lotlands. They're not similar in tone or style at all, but they're very very gritty books.
Interesting.
Right. Okay, to close it out. I read the first I read the first book. Already a typo. I read the first book 3 years.
It's his last prompt.
All right, let's try that again.
Let's go.
I read the first 3 in this series before I decided I just couldn't take any more. First of all, I don't believe in destiny or reincarnation. But I can suspend this disbelief if a book is well enough written. These weren't.
Are we Wheel of Time?
Oh, we're Wheel of Time.
We're Wheel of Time.
I'm gonna finish.
I was gonna say you keep reading.
Second, I don't think this author knows strong, decent women. I think he knows strong, shrill, harpy women. His life is the less for it, and so are his novels.
I just like. Part of it, like, I don't like Destiny Reincarnation, but just say the books are poorly written. That's right, like, they're objectively well-written books. Like, they have a lot of things some people don't like, but... the complaint about female characters I have heard before. He does tend to do that, but like the whole entire point is like he's playing off the battle of the sexes from like the 80s kind of thing that was in fantasy.
Yeah,
where
that's
like,
true.
Men are from Mars and women are from the. Like he's kind of playing off that whole thing. So like it's intentional. I get it, but yeah, I was gonna say I figured there had to be a Wheel of Time one that you did too, like I did, and it's like the complaints about Wheel of Time. You hear them so much, and it's like it's fine. I love it. You don't have to. It's okay.
Now, to close out the video, there is
I still have my last one.
Oh, you still have your last one?
I still have my last one.
Well, I do have one last line left.
Oh, one last line.
This is the gravy on the cake.
Oh, gosh. Here we go.
Third, if you have a story you can't tell in less than 12 novels, your editor isn't working hard enough.
Like...
That's just rude.
I mean...
It's just rude.
You're saying you're not allowed to have... Like, why 12? This seems so arbitrary.
I don't know. But, yeah, that one... So, I guess there is one left.
All right. So apparently,
hit me with your best shot.
Apparently, Discworld has a terrible editor because there's like 40 books. So.
How dare they? How dare they have more than 12 bucks?
Can't read Riftward Cycle either. I guess it's too long. It's too long.
But I like it.
It's too long.
But I like it.
All right, so this one is a little out of left field, which I'll give you as a hint because it's pretty different.
Oh,
but
no.
I picked it because I thought it was fun. This book's title was meant to be funny, but unfortunately, it is all too accurate. The author is trying to take a weak, cowardly character and make them interesting through an injection of the supernatural.
Is this a... No.
Like
you haven't read Dresden.
This is pretty out of left field, so it's very different from everything else we did.
The title.
That's also a good clue.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to think of silly titles.
So
would this be a... No, because...
Be a what?
You don't really... I don't know if I've told you I've read the Xanth books, so that doesn't fit.
We've talked about that.
Oh, yeah, I guess
it's
we
not
have.
that, though. But I am aware that you've read this. I have not read it. So, just one more time. The book's title was meant to be funny, but unfortunately, it's all too accurate. The author is trying to take a weak, cowardly character and make them interesting through an injection of the supernatural.
I have no idea.
It's a really long title of the book.
Really long title.
That describes the book, which is what they're saying is accurate, even though it's done in a tongue-in-cheek way. It's not fantasy.
It's not fantasy.
No, it's not fantasy.
And when did I read this?
Oh, I mean, I think years ago.
Years ago.
But you got somebody to read it fairly recently.
I did?
Yes, because they shared a vocation with a character.
Oh, the utterly uninteresting tales of Fred the Vampire Accountant. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I just wanted to put a fun one in, so...
well, it was the cowardly. Like, Fred's not a coward. He's just...
Utterly uninteresting?
Well, he's just an accountant.
I still, like, I want to read that just from hearing him talk about it.
He's actually rather brave.
But I just like the title, The Utterly Uninteresting Tales of Fred the Vampire. Like, that sounds so fun to me, so I'm still really curious.
There's, I think, 8 or 7 books now. They're fun.
Someday. But...
Well,
that was the final one.
That was the final one? Well, that was fun. We got all of them. I mean, with a little bit of help.
Eventually. I had a couple of ones I was pretty bad on. Oh, man. Well, I suppose I'm supposed to do the
your
outro. Yes. It's an unfamiliar filming location. But hope you enjoyed the video here. Of course, I'm sure most of you are familiar with Andrew. But if you're not, definitely check out his channel. And depending on when this comes out, there'll be a video on his channel and a video on my channel that we're doing, hopefully. So it should be a lot of fun. Make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Check the link in the description for our Discord, the Wizardly Duo Discord. And to steal a line from Andrew, or actually just you go ahead and say it.
Oh, peace out. Stay magical. Bye.